दार्विक गिरिधारी श्री श्री राधा विनोद बिहारी जू की जाय। श्री गोविंद गोपीनाथ मदन मोहन जू की जाय। नित्यानंद प्रविष्टम विष्णुपार अशुतर शुत शिशुमार भक्ति वेदांत नारायण गोसाई महाराज श्री गुरुदेव की जाय। नित्यानंद प्रविष्टम विष्णुपार अशुतर शुत शिशुमार भक्ति वेदांत वामन गोसाई महाराज की जाय। नित्यानंद प्रविष्टम विष्णुपार अशुतर शुत शिशुमार भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी महाराज श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। नित्यानंद प्रविष्टम विष्णुपाद अशुतर शत शिशुमार भक्ति प्रज्ञान केशव गोसाई महाराज की जय। नित्यानंद प्रविष्टम विष्णुपाद अशुतर शत शिशुमार भक्ति सिद्धांत सरस्वती गोसाई प्रभुपाद की जय। नित्यानंद प्रविष्ट महाभागवत श्रील गोरक्षरस बाबूजी महाराज की जय। नित्यानंद प्रविष्ट श्री सच्चिदानंद भक्ति विनोद ठाकुर की जय। नित्यानंद प्रविष्ट वैष्णव सार्वभौम श्री जगन्नाथ दास बाबूजी महाराज की जय। श्री रूपानु गौरी गुरु वर्ग की जय। श्री रूप सनातन भट्ट रघुनाथ श्री जीव गोपाल भट्टदास रघुनाथ शारद गोसाई प्रभु की जय। श्री स्वरूप दामोदर राय रामानंदारी श्री गौर पार्षद वृंद की जय। नाम चय श्री हरिदास ठाकुर की जय। प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासरी गौर भक्त वृंद की जय। श्री क्षेत्र मंडल गौर मंडल व्रज मंडल मथुर वृंदावन धाम की जय। सर्व अभिष्ट प्रदत्त गिरिराज महाराज की जय। श्री राधा कुंड श्याम कुंड की जय। श्री मुन देवी कंग देवी की जय। श्री तुलसी महारानी वृंद देवी की जय। श्री भक्ति देवी की जय। श्री पूर्णमासी योग माया की जय। श्री गोपेश्वर महादेव की जय। श्री हरि नाम संकीर्तन की जय। अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय। जय श्री today is Śrī Shyamananda Prabhu ki jai, Shyamananda Pandit ki jai, Todir Shubha Thiruvav, is it Thiruvav? I think so. Thiruvav Titi ki jai, jai Shri Harinam Sang, jai Shri Nartam Srinivas Shyamananda Prabhu Trai ki jai, jai Shri Harinam Sankirtan ki jai, Ananta Kuti Vaishnava Vrinda ki jai, Samagata Gaur Bhakta Vrinda ki jai, Swaparshad Shri Gaur Hari ki jai. Shinitai Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bo. Hare Krishna. We'll do Mangala Charan and then I will see who has joined. 1 second. Okay. Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Guruve Gaurachandraya Radhikaya Tadalaye Krishnaya Krishna Bhaktaya Tad Bhaktaya Namo Namaha. Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Namo Ajanulambita Bhujao Kanakavadato Sankirtanaika Pitaro Kamalaya Taksho Vishwambharo Dvijavaro Yugadharma Palo Vande Jagat Priyakaro Karunavataro. Namastrikala Satyaya Jagannatha Sutaya Cham Sabhrityaya Saputraya Sakalatraya Te Namaha. Tavaivasmi na jivami tvaya vina iti vigyaya devi tvam nayamam charanantikam bhaktya vihina aparadalakshay क्षिप्ताष्टकामादितराङ्ग मध्ये कृपामयि त्वं शरणं प्रपन्ना वृन्दे नमस्ते चरणारविन्दम् भज श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासरि गौर भक्त वृंद हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Dandavat Pranams, Sarveshwari Mataji, Haribol. And also Ganga Mataji and whoever else is watching on YouTube or Facebook. If you're at a comment, I'll see your name. Also, pranams to devotees watching in the future, like Shachi Devi and Jayadev Prabhu, Revati Didi, and all other devotees. Dandavat pranams. Maybe Raseshwari Mataji. All right, so we are continuing our reading of about Mahaprabhu's very dear associate, Śrīdhara Pandit. So there are 4 places in Caitanya-bhāgavata that describe Śrīdhara, pastimes of Śrīdhara Pandit in detail. And so I made all of those 4 parts into posts for my website, Vine of Devotion. We went through 2 of them, and now we will go through the last 2. One second, let me just open it up. Vine of Devotion. Yeah, if you want to see what we're reading today, just go to vineofdevotion.com. And today we will be looking at part 3. It's a series called Mahaprabhu's Love for the Unseen Devotee. Oh, and yesterday was also Mukunda Daṭṭa Thakur's disappearance day, and it was Jagannātha Snāna-yātrā, and today is Shyamananda Prabhu's disappearance day. So I'm just going to try to get through everything really quickly. So it'd be really nice if we could read about all these personalities before the hour is over. So yeah, I'll just jump right into it. Okay, so Mahaprabhu's love for the unseen devotee, part 3. So yeah, it's the image and this is Śrīdhara Pandit's pot right here. I mean, it's not really his pot, but yeah, just gave that as the image. That's what we're going to be reading about today. Okay. So today, on the auspicious disappearance day of Srila Vrindavan Das Thakur, when did I put this out? April 23rd. The Vyasdev of Śrī Caitanya-Mahaprabhu's pastimes, I'm honored to share the 3rd installment in a series of excerpts from his Śrī Caitanya-bhāgavata. These passages illuminate the extraordinary glories of Śrī Śrīdhara Pandit and Mahaprabhu's unfathomable love for him. In part 1, you can read the sweet quarrels between the Lord and Śrīdhara, which we read yesterday. Yeah, we read that yesterday. And in part 2, you can read the heart-melting pastime of when Mahaprabhu revealed himself to Śrīdhara Pandit. Now, in part 3, we come to an astonishing pastime. Mahaprabhu drinking water from Śrīdhara's iron pot, a vessel meant only for external use. It's like meant for, I think, like for cleaning and stuff. It wasn't meant for drinking from, even for himself. So this episode, drawn from Śrī Caitanya-bhāgavata, Madhya-khaṇḍa 23, 418 to 494, demonstrates the Lord's affection for his devotee, the nature of a devotee's prem, and the glory of the devotee's remnants. Okay, so Victoria Sankirtan. Oh, and Dandavat Pranams, Nri Hari Prabhu and Bhavatarani Mataji, Haribol. Okay, so having rectified the Kazi, Mahaprabhu, the Lord of all, danced onward with all his associates, absorbed in Sankirtan Ras. That was such an exciting part. In Chaitanya Bhagavat, the way Srila Vrindavan Das Thakur describes it is so much more yeah, the devotees they start breaking all the walls and they're doing kirtan and like destroying the chankazis. Oh, it goes into the details about like the devotees, like all the destruction the devotees are doing while doing kirtan. It was kind of, yeah, it was really fun. And so anyways, after that whole pastime with the chankazi, which where we're all familiar with. So right after that, mridanga drums and mandira cymbals resounded, along with conch shells and karatals, amidst shouts of Jai Ram, Krishna, Jai Govinda, Gopal. And this is the first Nagar Sankirtan. Like, The first, yeah. So having broken the Qazi's residence, all the townspeople, immersed in tremendous bliss, danced onward, joyfully chanting, Hari, Hari. The hearts of the atheists, of the Pashandis, were utterly shattered by these events. While the Pashandis sank into dejection, the Vaishnavas reveled in ecstatic delight. Jai Krishna, Mukunda, Murari, Vanamali, sang all the townspeople in unison, clapping their hands in time. Tumultuous cries of Jai reverberated in village after village. All the people floated in an ocean of bliss. Who danced in which direction? Who sang? Who played instruments? In the ecstatic commotion, no one could even tell who was running in which direction. The devotees danced at the forefront of the procession, while Mahaprabhu Śrī Sachinandan danced behind them. It's interesting, huh? Lots of times Mahaprabhu's in behind, and the devotees are in the front. Lord Brahma, Lord Shiva, and Lord Ananta himself led the kirtan, while Mahaprabhu, the crest jewel of all Vaishnavas, danced. Do not entertain any doubt whatsoever in your mind regarding this, for the Lord himself mercifully declared it. So, journey through Navadvip. Accompanied by innumerable crores of people, Vishwambar entered the village of the conch shell merchants. Great jubilation arose in the village of the conch shell merchants. Chanting Hari, they played mridangas, bells, and sounded their conch shells. Vishwambar, it's like that in Bengal even today, that the villages people will do one thing. Like there'll be the village of all the conch shell merchants, and in all the houses, that's everybody, they're just engaged in making conch shells and all that. And then you'll go into another village, and then their whole thing is making gumshas, and everybody in the village does that. And then you'll go into another village, and their whole thing is, flowers or whatever, making garlands and stuff. And yeah, so that's it's like that even now in Bengal. So he went through the village of conch shell merchants. They played mridangas, bells, sounded their conch shells. Then Vishwambar danced along a path strewn with flowers, while on all sides beautiful lamps burned brightly. How can I possibly describe the beauty of that moonlit night, graced by Gauranga Sri Hari himself performing kirtan? At every doorway were auspicious decorations, full water pots, banana trees, and mango sprouts. The women joyfully chanted Hari and they raised cries of Jai. Proceeding thus, gracing all the villages, the Lord arrived at the village of the weavers. Auspicious sounds and tumultuous cries of Jai erupted as all the weavers became completely overwhelmed with ecstatic bliss upon the Lord's arrival. All the townspeople danced, clapping their hands and chanting, Hari Bolo, Mukunda, Gopala, Vanamali. Hearing the holy name of Hari resonating from everyone's mouth, the Lord smiled with satisfaction. Dancing onward, he proceeded toward the humble dwelling of Śrīdhara. Water from the devotee's patched iron pot. Śrīdhara's dwelling consisted of just one dilapidated hut. The Lord arrived, entering that humble abode. At the doorway sat just one old iron water pot, patched up in countless places. A pot so worthless that even a thief wouldn't bother to steal it. As Mahaprabhu danced in Śrīdhara's courtyard, he noticed the iron pot filled with water. And see, here's the image of the iron pot in front of Śrīdhara Pandit's door. Okay, so Mahaprabhu noticed that iron pot. And what does he do? Let's see. Oops. Then, to reveal the nature of a devotee's prem, Śrī Sachinandan, he instantly lifted that iron pot. Mahaprabhu blissfully drank the water. And who possessed the power to forbid him? I am ruined! I am ruined! Cried Śrīdhara. He has come to my house to destroy me. Saying this, the pious Śrīdhara fell down unconscious. And in yesterday's pastime also, Śrīdhara Pandit fell down unconscious twice. No, this time he also fell unconscious. You have destroyed me, I'm ruined. But the Lord declared, today my body has become purified. Today, bhakti unto Sri Krishna's lotus feet has awakened within me. At the very moment I drink Śrīdhara's water, today bhakti unto Sri Krishna's lotus feet has awakened within me at the very moment I drink Śrīdhara's water. Now truly I have attained devotion to Lord Vishnu. As he spoke these words, tears streamed incessantly from his eyes. By drinking the water remnants of a Vaishnav, devotion to Lord Vishnu certainly arises. Thus, the compassionate Gauranga instructed everyone present. In the Padma Puran, Adi Khanda 31:112, it is stated, Prarthayed Vaishnavasyanam Pratanena Vichakshana Sarva Papa Vishuddhartam Tad Abhave Jalang Pibet. The meaning is, a wise person should earnestly endeavor and beg for the food remnants of a Vaishnav for the purification of all sins. If such food is unavailable, then one should then drink their remnant water, or water that has washed their feet. Witnessing the Lord's affection for his devotee, his bhakta vatsalyata, all the assembled devotees began to cry in ecstasy. Sri Nityananda and Sri Gadadhar Pandit, they fell down weeping. Advaita Acharya and Srivas Pandit, they also cried, falling upon the ground. Haridas Thakur, Gangadas Pandit, and Vakreshwar Pandit, they cried. Murari Gupta, Mukunda Daṭṭa, and Sri Chandrasekhar Acharya, they also cried. Govinda Ghosh, Govindananda, Sri Garbha Pandit, and Shriman Pandit, they cried. Kashishwar Pandit, Sri Jagadananda Pandit, and Ramdas Abhiram, they also cried. Jagadish Pandit and Gopinath Acharya cried, Nandan Acharya cried, Shuklambar Brahmachari, Garuda Pandit, and indeed everyone present cried. Lakhs and crores of people wept, placing their hands upon their heads and crying, O Krishna, O Thakur, my Lord and Master, refuge of the helpless. The Lord's purpose fulfilled. I'm unable to fully describe what transpired at Śrīdhara's humble dwelling. Prem Bhakti manifested there in every way. As everyone chanted the name of Krishna and cried in ecstatic joy, Gaura Chandra smiled, for his divine purpose was now fulfilled. Behold, my brothers, the extraordinary glory of this devotee. Indeed, the Lord displayed the very pinnacle of affection, the very pinnacle of Vatsalya for his loving servants. It was an iron water pot filled with water meant only for external use. It wasn't meant for drinking from, even for anybody, what to speak of Mahāprabhu. Yet the Lord drank it all the water in that pot with the greatest loving appreciation. As soon as the Lord's transcendental desire to drink arose, that humble devotee's water instantly transformed into the sweetest nectar. It was specifically to illustrate the principle of bhakti that the Lord drank water from such a pot. From the transcendental perspective, everything related to a Vaishnav is perfectly pure. And could you imagine if you go to a house and you see a dirty old rusty iron pot with holes and patched in old places, and just like a dirty pot outside on the ground next to the doorway? I don't think any of us here would drink that. But then Mahāprabhu, the Supreme Personality of God himself, who revealed himself to all his devotees. We just read yesterday how he revealed himself, the worshipful Lord of the devotees, the cherished Lord of all the devotees' hearts, and that Supreme Lord, that they would, for any reason for the Lord, they'd be ready to give their life for a second, without, without a second, just so that he wouldn't feel the slightest bit inconvenience. Like, and then that same Lord, he took that iron pot, filled like that dirty iron pot, and drank the entire content, like all the water from it. None of us would even do that, but Mahaprabhu did that. And so, and yeah, for the devotees, how much love they have for the Lord, you can imagine how, like, anyways, yeah. So, and why did Mahaprabhu do this? To show the greatness of the devotees, of the remnants of the devotees, of, and that humble devotee's water instantly transformed into the sweetest nectar. So yeah, and through this pastime, Mahaprabhu really taught that from the transcendental perspective, everything related to a Vaishnava is perfectly pure. The Lord is conquered by his servant. The Lord does not even glance upon a proud person's grand offering of water and a jewel-studded vessel. Let alone drink from it. He doesn't even glance at it. Yet he readily accepts any humble substance offered by his loving servant in any condition, without waiting for the formalities prescribed for making offerings. And for devotees like Śrīdhara Paṇḍita, he doesn't even wait for them to offer it. He'll just snatch it. So if the servant hesitates, yeah, look, it says, if the servant hesitates to offer even a meager item, the Lord snatches it and eats it by force. The chipped rice offered by the poor Brahmin Sudama in Dwarka stands as proof of this. Ultimately, the Lord accepts his servant as non-different from himself. Yudhishthira's simple forest greens offered during exile, which the Lord lovingly ate, is a clear example of this. The servant may appear as Krishna's father, mother, wife, or brother. But aside from Das, there is no second identity in relation to Krishna. In Chaitanya Charitamrita, the chapter about Advaita Acharya in the beginning, forgot which chapter it is, but that's the whole topic of the chapter on Advaita Acharya. How this feeling of wanting to serve Krishna, this dasatva, is imbued throughout everywhere in all the rasas, everything that all the rasas do in dasya, sakya, vatsalya, madhurya, everything is imbued with that wanting to serve Krishna. Whatever that's the whole thing. Like that's inspiring everything is this desire to serve Krishna. So the servant may appear as Krishna's mother, father, but aside from Das, there's no second identity in relation to Krishna. They only want his ultimate benefit, his ultimate happiness, no desire for themselves. So the Lord assumes the very form of his servant. The Lord assumes the very form his servant meditates upon. And his servant holds the power even to sell him. I love this point, that the Lord assumes the very form his servant meditates upon. So every devotee of Krishna, every devotee, every jiva, every devotee has their own special, unique form of the Lord that he reveals to that person separately. No two people see Krishna in the same way, because he reveals himself according to the love of his devotee, and every devotee loves him in a different way. And so then he reveals himself in a different way to each devotee. He reveals himself according to that love of the devotee. And his servant holds the power even to sell him. The four Vedas declare, the Lord is deeply affectionate towards his servants. Indeed, Krishna always reveals himself fully in the presence of his devoted servant. Beholds the sublime influence of the Lord's servants to the full satisfaction of your eyes, Nayana Puriya, and then cultivate deep loving attachment to Krishna in such a mood of pure servitude. That's such a beautiful verse. Let's just read that again. Beholds the sublime influence of the Lord's servant to the full satisfaction of your eyes, and then cultivate deep loving attachment to Krishna in such a mood of pure servitude. So this is how we cultivate a loving attachment to Krishna. Our feelings towards Krishna it happens by first becoming seeing the influence of the Lord's servant. Yeah. It's through the devotees. That's how we gain a attachment to Krishna, is through appreciating the devotees. Yeah, honoring the devotees. And then it automatically comes loving attachment to Krishna. So the unrivaled glory of servitude. Never consider the designation Krishna Das to be insignificant. Bhagavan does not accept one of meager fortune as Das. Oh no, only the most fortunate are considered Das, are accepted as Das of Bhagavan. One who performs their prescribed duties for countless lifetimes, acting always with non-violence and sincerity, and who prays day and night in the mood of a servant, that person utters the name Narayan at the time of death. Then one becomes liberated, and all material bondage is destroyed. Having thus attained liberation, one becomes a servant of Lord Govinda. So what an exalted position it is to become a servant of Lord Govinda. How difficult it is also. So no, not somebody who just has meager fortune is never going to be an actual das, an actual servant. It's a very rare thing. This explanation is given amongst the assembly of learned commentators. They say all liberated persons worship Krishna in their eternal forms suited for his divine pastimes. Their Lila Tanu. And then in his commentary on Srimad Bhagavatam 1087.21, Sridhar Swami quotes Sarvagya Vishnu Swami as follows. So, Mukta api lilaya vigraham kritva bhagavantam bhajante. Even the liberated beings constantly render service to Bhagavan with their transcendental bodies. The lilaya vigraham. Lila Tanu in the Bengali and Lilaya Vigraham in this verse by Vishnu Swami. Therefore, the devotee is as good as the Lord himself. Indeed, in the presence of his pure devotee, Bhagavan willingly accepts defeat. Of all the garlands of praise that exists within the infinite universes, not a single one contains even a fraction of the praise befitting a devotee. Whoa, that's a pretty extreme sentence there. Of all the garlands of praise that exist within the infinite universes. So just think of all the Harikatha we've ever heard, all the glorifications that's ever been spoken anywhere in this world. But what to speak of this world in the infinite universes? So just like any combination of sounds within this universe, not a single one contains even a fraction of the praise befitting a devotee. It's because no words can actually truly be able to praise a devotee. Their glories are that infinite that combinations of sounds can't actually truly glorify them. Even a fraction of the praise befitting a devotee. Wow. Lord Brahma and Lord Shiva feel ecstatic joy upon being addressed as Das. Lord Brahma and Lord Shiva, there's no more exalted persons in this universe, like, Brahma and Shiva, but even they feel ecstatic joy. What? Person considers me Das? That's what an exalted position it is to be the Das, a servant. Lord Ananta Shesh, who supports the universes, he also desires the qualification to serve the Lord. Ananta Shesh. All these great personalities are equal to the Lord himself, and they are devotees by their very nature. Yet still, they remain intensely desirous of attaining the position of a devotee. Advaita Prabhu feels great joy speaking about such devotees. Sinful persons, however, suffer greatly due to the consequences of their own misdeeds and offenses. Krishna. Krishna feels immense satisfaction simply hearing the name Bhakta. Besides Lord Krishna Chandra himself, who else can truly know his devotee? Dancing in Śrīdhara's courtyard. Beholds this divine power belonging to the Lord of all, Gaura Chandra, the beloved son of Mother Shachi, and fill your eyes to the brim. By his mere wish, countless millions gathered there. How many millions of great lamps began burning? Who planted all those banana trees decorating every single doorway? Who sang? Who played the instruments? Who caused the shower of flowers? All this happens by the Lord's mystic potency. He simply drank Śrīdhara's water, and what then transpired as the very abode of praying manifested, I cannot fully comprehend or describe. Witnessing such profound affection for his devotee, all the three worlds wept. Some rolled upon the ground in ecstasy, their hair unbound and disheveled. Śrīdhara wept, holding a blade of grass between his teeth in humility, and he loudly cried out, "Oh Hari!" with tear-filled eyes. "What water has Tridasha Rai, the king of the demigods, drunk?" Lamenting thus, Śrīdhara danced, wept, and cried out, "Hi, hi, alas, alas." Tridasha Rai means, so Tridasha means it's 3 times 10, which is 30. Tridasha. And there are 33 million demigods, right? So he's the king of the 30, but meaning 33 million demigods. That's how I understood it, at least. That's how I translated it yesterday, at least. So having drunk his devotee's water, Vishwambhar, the supreme lord of Vaikuntha, danced in Śrīdhara's courtyard. His dear associates surrounded him on all 4 sides, singing, absorbed in Maharas, while Nityananda Prabhu and Gadadhar Pandit shines beautifully on both sides. Such a beautiful description, huh? Bhakti reigns supreme. Just behold the boundless good fortune of this humble servant who sold banana products. Seeing his glories, even Lord Brahma and Lord Shiva weep. One cannot attain Sri Krishna through wealth, followers, or scholarship. Śrī Caitanya Gosai is controlled exclusively by pure bhakti. Having thus bestowed his unparalleled mercy upon Śrīdhara by drinking his water, Lord Gauranga Sri Hari returned once more towards the town. Jai, Śrīdhara Pandit ki jai. Vaishnaver Uchishta ki jai. All right, so that was that chapter. Such a beautiful chapter, huh? I mean, that section goes up to verse 494. It's a long chapter. And that wasn't the end of the chapter. That was just like a small excerpt from this chapter, from the Chankazi chapter. Okay, so now let's go to the next song. I mean, the next section. Where is it? Mahāprabhu's Love for the Unseen Devotee, Part 4, which I sent out yesterday. Yeah. So if anybody is not subscribed to my website, vineofdevotion.com, and you would like to get these sections from Caitanya-bhāgavata, sometimes I write little things, and I don't know. It's just my place to send out whatever things I feel like. You can find it on vineofdevotion.com and subscribe there. Okay, so there's an image of Śrīdhara. Those are Śrīdhara Pandit's hands offering a Lao or Loki to Mahāprabhu. So today, on the auspicious disappearance day of Śrīdhara Pandit, we conclude our series, Mahāprabhu's Love for the Unseen Devotee. The series began in part 1 with the sweet quarrels between the Lord and Śrīdhara. It continued in part 2 with the heart-melting pastime, where Mahāprabhu revealed his divine form to Śrīdhara. and featured in part 3 the astonishing moments he drank from Śrīdhara's iron water pot meant only for external use. Now, in this last section, part 4, we will see how one of the very last loving exchanges Mahaprabhu had before leaving Navadip to accept sannyas was with his dear, humble Śrīdhara. Yeah, it's just highlighting again and again the and remember Śrīdhara Pandit, we were reading yesterday how he was just a nobody, like nobody would recognize him. Nobody recognized that this is a great person or anything. He was just another vendor on the side of the road selling banana products, which are super cheap in Bengal. It's the cheapest thing you can buy in Bengal is banana products because there's so many banana trees and like that. And he didn't even own his own trees. He would have to purchase the trees and then cut the different parts of the tree and like that, and then he'd sell it. And people just walked past him. Nobody knew that he was anybody special. But then Mahaprabhu again and again and again, he kept on showing how his love for this devotee and how exalted the devotee is. That's why I gave the title Mahaprabhu's love for the unseen devotee, the unseen devotee. And so Mahaprabhu, before he leaves Navadip forever, he's taking sannyas and he's never going to live in Navadip ever again. He's going for good. And who does he have his last like sweet pastime with? His last interaction was with Śrīdhara Pandit. And also, I mean, of course, Shachi Mata. That was the very last interaction was of Shachi Mata, like the very last conversation. But yeah, Śrīdhara Pandit was the last devotee in Navadip and Shachi Mata. Those two people were the two people who never left Navadip, who didn't leave. Well, I'm not sure if Śrīdhara Pandit ever left Navadip. I don't think he did, but maybe he did. But yeah. So let's see. This day is also the auspicious disappearance day of Mukunda Daṭṭa. As you'll read below, Mahaprabhu specifically chose Mukunda as one of the only 5 people to be informed of his secret plan to depart. He's also a childhood friend of Mahaprabhu. Yeah. I think, did he go to class with Mahaprabhu also? I can't remember. I didn't end up getting to read about him yesterday. Anyways, before we begin, let us take a look at the identity of Śrīdhara Pandit from Srila Kavi Karnapur's Gaur Ganadesh Dipika. Khola-vecā Paṇḍita Śrīdharo Dvija Asid Braje Hasyakaro Yo Namna Kusuma Savaha. The learned Brahmin Śrīdhara, renowned as Khola-vecā, the banana bark seller, was known in Braj by the name Kusumasava, the cowherd boy who makes Krishna laugh with his playful jokes. So, Kusumasava is the cowherd boy who makes Krishna laugh. He knew how to make Krishna laugh. So he became Śrīdhara Pandit in Mahaprabhu's pastimes. Okay, so what follows is a selection of summaries and translated excerpts from Śrī Caitanya-bhāgavata, Madhya-khaṇḍa 28. On the eve of his departure to accept sannyas, Sri Vishwambar was deeply immersed in the bliss of Sankirtan with his devotees. So captivating was the Lord's transcendental happiness that his followers completely forgot he was about to leave them. These fortunate devotees were directly relishing pastimes with the Supreme Lord, the very person whom the personified Vedas only hope to see. On the day he planned to leave, the Lord privately confided in Nityananda Prabhu. He revealed his firm decision to take sannyas on the upcoming Makar Sankranti day, which is January 14th or 15th every year. So he told Nityananda Prabhu's decision to take sannyas on the upcoming Makar Sankranti day from the pure-hearted Keshav Bharati, who resided in Katwa. Shri Gauranga instructed Nityananda Prabhu to share this secret with only 5 specific individuals: his mother Shachi Devi, Gadadhar Pandit, Brahmananda Bharati, Shri Chandrasekhar Acharya, and Mukunda Daṭṭa. Nityananda Prabhu duly informs these 5 about the Lord's imminent departure. Unaware that the Lord would be leaving that very day, everyone else joyfully spent time in his company. The lotus-eyed Lord, his body adorned with fragrant sandalwood paste and flower garlands, sat at his he sat at his home, surrounded by his followers. An immense and spontaneous crowd of people gathered, drawn by the Lord's divine attraction. Not even Lord Brahma could count the number of townspeople who came to see him. As people arrived, they offered their prostrated obeisances and then fixed their gaze upon the Lord's beautiful face. And now, this is, we're including this in the Gaudiya Giti Guccha, these next, what is it? Next 4 verses. Yeah, so this is really nice to sing on Nagar Sankirtan. This is another group of verses that are really nice to sing on Nagar Sankirtan, or whenever you're singing Mahamantra. Lots of times in the mat, you'll hear they'll sing this. And these are Mahaprabhu's last instructions to all the residents of Navadvip before he left to take sannyas. Of course, we know Mahaprabhu came back to Navadvip again one more time, but briefly. But this is his last. And this is from his house, in Mayapur. So Mahaprabhu said to all the residents of Navadvip, he says, Apana galar mala sabakare diya, agya kore prabhu sabe, Krishna gao giya. So distributing the garlands from his neck to everyone, the Lord gave this instruction. He said, Krishna gao giya, go and sing the names of Krishna. Bolo Krishna, bhajo Krishna, gao Krishna naam, Krishna vinu ke ho kichu na bhavi ho ano. Chant Krishna, worship Krishna, sing Krishna's names. Apart from Krishna, think of nothing else. Krishna vina ke ho kichu na bhavi ho ar. Think of nothing else other than Krishna. Jadi ama prati sneha thake sabakar, Tabe Krishna vyatirikta na gaibe ar. So he says, if you have affection for me, jadi amaparati sneha take, all of you, then do not sing about any topic other than Krishna. Tabe Krishna vyatirikta na gaibe ar. If you have any affection for me, then don't sing about any topic other than Krishna. What do you say after that? It's like he says, if you say you have affection for me, don't sing about any other topic other than Krishna. It's like, oh, I guess, yeah. It's pretty heavy actually. Ki shayane ki bhojane ki ba jagarane ahar nisha chinta ko sorry, ahar nisha chinta Krishna bolo ho badane. Be it while resting or eating or while awake, day and night, just think of Krishna, chanting his name with your lips. E mata shubha drishti kori sabakare, upadesha kohi sabe bole jao ghare. Like this, casting his auspicious glance over everyone and giving them this instruction, the Lord said, Jao ghare, now go to your homes. E mata koto jai koto ba aise, Kehokare nahi chine anandete bhashe. In this way, so many came and went, floating in bliss. No one recognized anyone else. Purna hoilo Shri Vigraha Chandana Malai, Chandreva kote ko shobha kahane na jai. His divine form was covered in sandalwood paste and garlands. His beauty was beyond any comparison to the moon. Can't even compare it to the moon. Kohane na jai. It's not, you can't even speak of Mahaprabhu's beauty compared to the moon. Prasada paiya sabe harashita hoya, ucha haridhwani sabe jayen koriya. Receiving his mercy, everyone became joyful, and loudly chanting the name of Hari, they left. Ekalao hate kori sukriti Śrīdhara, henoi shamoy ashi hoila agochar. So just at that moment, the pious Śrīdhara came into view, holding a single bottle gourd. And that's, in Bengali, it's called a lao, and in Hindi, it's called a loki. So he came with a single lao in his hands. And here's a picture of a lao right here. That's what the lao looks like. Really big and green and smooth shape like that. Can't eat it during Chaturmasya. Okay. Lao Bhet and Śrīdhara Paṇḍita had no idea that nobody had any idea that Mahaprabhu was going to be leaving and taking sannyas. So he just gave this as a gift. And imagine how fortunate. Very last thing. Lao Bhet deki hase Shri Gora Sundare. Kothai paila Prabhu jigyase tahare. Seeing the gift of the Lao, of the gourd, Shri Gaurasundar smiled. He said, where did you get this? The Lord asked him. Nijamane jane Prabhu kali choli baya. Ei lao bhojana korite nari laya. And the Lord thought to himself, I am leaving tomorrow. I will not be able to eat this gourd. I won't be able to eat this lao that's been so lovingly offered by my devotee. Śrīdharer padartha ki hoibe anyatha. E lao bhajana aji koribo sarvata. But how can anything from Sridhar be otherwise? How could it be wasted? How could it be rejected from me? How could it not be honored by me? By all means, by any way possible, I must eat this gourd today. Elao bhajana aji koribo sarvata. Etika chintiya bhakta vatsalya rakhite jananire bolilen randana korite. Thinking this, and to uphold his own nature of affection for his devotees, he told his mother to cook it. See how dear any item offered by a devotee is to the Lord. He was so worried. He's about to leave and take sannyas, leave Navadvip forever. And then he got this gift from a devotee. How can I leave Navadvip without honoring this gift that Sridhar is giving me? So I have to eat it some way or other. So he gave it to his mother, told her to cook it. Henoy shamoy ar kono bhagyavan dugdha bhet aniya dilen vidyaman. Just then, another fortunate soul arrived and offered a pot of milk. Hasiya Thakur bole boro bhalo bhalo, dugdha lao pakka giya koroho shokala. The Lord smiled and said, This is very, very good. Boro bhalo bhalo. Now please go and cook this gourd with the milk. Santoshe cholila shachi korite randhan. Heno bhakta vatsala shishachir nandan. With great satisfaction, Shachi Devi went to cook. Such is the affection of Shachi's son for his devotees. Can you imagine? Shachi Devi, Nityananda Prabhu told her that Mahaprabhu was going to be taking sannyas. She already knew. And now Shachi Devi is going into her kitchen knowing that this is going to be the last time that she's going to be able to directly cook for Mahaprabhu. At least, of course she did cook for Mahaprabhu every day. But, in her mind, this is the last time that she's ever going to be able to cook for her dear Nimai, who she's been cooking for his entire life. Like all of his meals have been his mother's cooking, and now this is the last time that she's going to be able to cook for him. Emate Mahanande Vaikuntha Ishvar Kautuke Achen Ratri Dvitiya Prahar. In this way, the Lord of Vaikuntha blissfully passed the second prahar of the night. So the night's divided into 4 prahars, right? I think the first prahar of the night, the evening, is Sayam, which is from 6 till 8:30. And then the second prahar is from 8:30 till midnight. So he passed the second prahar from 8:30 p.m. till midnight in this way. That's really late, midnight. Then Sabare Vidaya Diya Prabhu Vishwambar Bhojane Boshila Asi Tridasha Ishvar. After bidding farewell to everyone, Lord Vishwambar, the master of the 33 million demigods, Tridasha Ishvar, we just saw that in the previous chapter, right? It said Tridasha Rai. Here's Tridasha Ishvar. He came and sat down for his meal. Bhojana koriya Prabhu mukha shuddha kori, chalila shayana ghare, Gauranga Shri Hari. After eating and washing his mouth, Gauranga Shri Hari went to his bedroom to rest. After taking the meal, and so now it's a summary of the rest. After taking the meal prepared from the offerings, Śrīdhara Pandit's lao and that devotee's milk, then Gauranga went to his bedroom and glanced toward mystic sleep, yoga nidra. In other words, he rested. Yeah, I thought that was it's so interesting. It says yoga nidra prati. Uh, I forgot exactly. Drishti kore, something like that. He glanced at yoga nidra. In other words, he fell asleep. Gadadhar and Haridas also slept nearby. Mother Shachi, knowing that the Lord was about to depart, was unable to sleep, and she wept continuously. During the pre-dawn hours of Brahma Muhurta, the Lord awoke, knowing the auspicious time for his departure had arrived. When Gadadhar and Haridas also awoke, Gadadhar Pandit, he declared, "I will accompany you." But the Lord replied that he must go alone, stating, "I have no companion. I am one without a second. This is all my pastime." I didn't actually fully know how to translate that last part. It said Sarvaranga, a Amar Sarvaranga, something like that. So I might have gotten this part wrong, but anyways, this is all my pastime. Realizing the moment had come, Mother Shachi went and sat in the doorway. Seeing her, the Lord gently took her hands and began to offer words of solace. "You have nurtured me with such immense care. All my studies and all I have learned have been because of you. For yourself, you never took even a sesame seed's worth of happiness. From the day I was born, you've only ever increased my own comforts and joys. You never even took a sesame seed's worth of happiness for yourself. No, from the day I was born, you have only ever increased my own comforts and joys." My own bhog, it said bhog. "The love you have showered upon me, moment by moment, is a debt I could not hope to repay in millions of lifetimes. Only by your grace could that debt ever be settled. Yet even then, birth after birth, I would remain indebted to you. Listen, Mother, this entire world moves according to the will of the Supreme Lord. No one has the power to be independent of him. All meetings and all separations are arranged by that Lord. Who possesses the power to truly understand his desire? So whether I leave this place now or in 10 days' time, please do not fill your heart with anxiety. All of your needs, worldly and spiritual, are now my charge. The entire burden is mine." Placing his hands upon her heart, the Lord declared again and again, "The entire burden of your care is mine and mine alone. Amar, Amar." It said it twice. Amar, Amar. Mother Shachi listened quietly to all he said, but she could not reply, shedding incessant tears. In her silent gravity, she became like Mother Earth herself. Prithvi Sarupa, it said. Finally, the Lord took the dust of his mother's feet upon his head, circumambulated her, and immediately departed. In this way, the Lord of Vaikuntha left his home to accept the renounced order of sannyas for the ultimate purpose of delivering all the fallen souls. Jai Shri Shachinandan Gaur Hari Ki Jai. Jai Śrīdhara Pandit Ki Jai. Jai Shri Shachi Mata Ki Jai. Jai Swapar Shachi Gaur Hari Ki Jai. Shri Nitai Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bol. Okay, it is 5 minutes till 8. Didn't get any time to read about Shamananda or Mukunda Datta or anybody. Um, Maybe we can just very quickly read a little bit about Mukunda Datta, who we didn't get around to reading about yesterday. Let me just find this. Mukunda Datta. I think it was, if I remember correctly, it was 60. Yes. Okay. So, Śrī Mukunda Datta Thakur. Vrajestito Gayako yo Madhukanta Madhuvrato Mukunda Vasudevoto Datto Gaurangakayako. Oops, I just noticed I put diacritics in Datta. There's no diacritics in Datta. That's my mistake. In Vraj, there were two singers named Madhukanta and Madhuvrata. This is from Gorgondish Dipika 140. They appeared in Chaitanya Lila as two singers, Mukunda Datta and Vasudev Datta, who used to sing for Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. We sing it every day in Gaur Arti. Sanjaya Mukunda Vasu Goshadika. Oh, wait, this Vasu Ghosh though. Huh. Interesting. But Mukunda Datta and Vasudev Datta. Anyway. Śrī Mukunda Datta appeared in the Chittagong district of modern Bangladesh in the village of Chanhara. This village is situated about 20 miles from Pundarik Vidyanidhi's Shripat. Vasudev Datta Thakur was his elder brother. And this is from Prem Vilas. It says, in the district of Chittagong, there is a village named Chakrashala, where lives a respectable family of Angvashta physicians named Datta. Two great devotees named Mukunda Datta and Vasudev Datta were born in this family. Both Vasudev, the older, and Mukunda, the younger, came to Navadvip to live. And now this is from Chaitanya Charitamrita, Adi Lila chapter 10, verse 40. Śrī Mukunda Datta, a class friend of Lord Chaitanya, was another branch of the Chaitanya tree. Lord Chaitanya danced while he sang. Then Mahāprabhu as a childhood friend. Mukunda Datta came to Navadvip from Chittagong and became a fellow student of Mahāprabhu at Gangadas Pandit's Tola. When Nimai Pandit, immersed in the joys of learning, when he roamed around in Navadvip with thousands of students, none of the scholars other than Gangadas Pandit could understand his purports. Nimai Pandit was the personified form of the god of death for hypocrites. He was Cupid for materialists, and Brihaspati, the spiritual master of the demigods, for learned scholars. Many Vaishnavas from Chittagong settled in Navadvip for learning and to stay near the river Ganga. Every afternoon, they assembled at the house of Advaita Acharya, where Mukunda Datta sang the hymns about Lord Hari in a sweet, melodious voice that immersed them all in an ocean of bliss. Mahaprabhu was internally very happy with Mukunda, but he would often debate with him by asking tricky questions. Nobody would come close to Nimai and those in fear of debates. One day, to get rescued from the tricky questions about grammar, Mukunda said that grammar was a subject for small children, and that Mahaprabhu should answer his difficult questions in alankar, figures of speech, all the ornaments and poetry and like that. Mahaprabhu answered all the questions perfectly, establishing, refuting, and then again re-establishing the same, which amazed Mukunda. And in Caitanya-bhāgavata, Adi Khanda chapter 12, it says, Mukunda thought, such a scholarship is impossible for an ordinary human being. There is not one scripture or subject he does not know. He is such a genius. If only he were a devotee of Lord Krishna, then I would never leave his company for a moment. Wow, so from as he was a child, just a classmate of Mahaprabhu, he thought, if he becomes a devotee, I will never leave his company for a moment. Oh, why couldn't he just be a devotee of Krishna? Devotees were disinterested to hear or speak topics other than Sri Krishna. Therefore, at the sight of Nimai Pandit, they would change their direction and keep a distance from him. They were all trying to avoid, even the devotees were trying to avoid Mahaprabhu, this Nimai Pandit who was just going to try to fight them and debate them. One day, Mahaprabhu laughed and said, "One day he will see how much of a Vaishnav I am. I will become such a Vaishnav that Lord Shiva and Lord Brahma will come and stand at my doorstep. So, my brothers, now hear from me carefully. I will become the most famous Vaishnav. Those who run away at my sight now will also sing my glories then." That's Caitanya-bhāgavata Adi-khanda chapter 11, verses 46 to 49. And Mahaprabhu wasn't a devotee at this point yet, so he could speak proudly like that. But of course, when you're a devotee, then you're more humble than a blade of grass. You'd never speak like that. But he wasn't a devotee at this point. He was just the scholar Nimai Pandit, so he could talk like that. When I become a devotee, everybody will sing my glories. After receiving Diksha from Ishwar Puripad in Gaya, Mahaprabhu returned to Navadvip. He remained constantly intoxicated by divine love. Mukunda Daṭṭa recited shloks and he recited shloks and sang kirtans appropriate for the Lord's particular mood, which gave pleasure to Mahaprabhu. Even Advaita Acharya and Ishwar Puripad were transported by divine ecstasy, hearing Mukunda's heartfelt and melodious kirtans. It's 8:03 now. Okay, we all know this pastime of Mukunda Datta with Gadadhar Pandit, with Pundarik Vidyanidhi, right? I'm going to skip that one. And now Mahaprakash Leela at Shivasangan. Let's hear this. Mukunda was part of Mahaprabhu's Sankirtan pastimes at Shivasangan. He was the lead singer in one of the groups for the morning kirtans on the day of Akadashi. Shri Hari Vasari Hari Kirtana Vidan, Nritta Arambila Prabhu Jagatera Pran, Punyabanta Shivasa Angane Shubharambo, Uttila Kirtana Dwani Gopala Govinda. Mridanga Mandira Baji Shankar Karatal. What is it? Anyways, let's see. So the scriptural injunction is that one should engage in Hari Kirtan on Akadashi day, also known as Hari Vasar. On that day, from early dawn, Mahaprabhu, the life of the world, began to dance. This auspicious beginning of the Sankirtan movement took place in the pious Srivasa's courtyard, where the sound of Krishna's names, Gopala, Govinda, arose from the sky. Uttila Kirtanadwani Gopala Govinda. Mridanga Mandira, Bhaja Shankar Karatal, different kirtan groups emerged from the assembled Vaishnavas. Srivasa Pandita Loya Eka Sampradaya, Mukunda Loya Ar Jana Koto Gaya. Srivas Pandit headed one group, and Mukunda headed another. This is the reason I know this song is because we sing this every Akadashi. This is in all the mats. Usually in the morning time, they'll sing this every Akadashi. During Mahaprabhu's 21-hour Mahabhav Leela at Shivasangan, Mukunda sang kirtan at the transcendental bathing ceremony. And this is from Caitanya-bhāgavata, Madhya-khaṇḍa chapter 9. It says, the devotees of Lord Gauranga are very well versed in chanting Vedic hymns. So they poured water, accompanying the pouring with mantras. Mukunda and others were sweetly singing the bathing ceremony song, and other devotees wept or danced with overwhelming happiness. So this is from the same chapter that we read yesterday. About Śrīdhara Pandit, Mahaprabhu revealing himself to Śrīdhara Pandit. This is the same chapter 9 of Madhya-khaṇḍa. Shri Gaur Narayan is the sole proprietor of Vaikuntha, full in 6 opulences. When he exhibited the Mahaprakash Leela for 21 hours, taking his position on Lord Vishnu's throne, he manifested himself in different avatars to different devotees, depending on their desires and the mellows they belonged to. After the devotees completed his Abhishek ceremony, reserved for the King of Kings, according to the scriptural regulations, then Shri Gaur Sundar, bound by deep affection and love, he called all the devotees, gave his audience in the form they had desired, and awarded boons to them. But the devotees could not understand why Mahaprabhu was not giving the opportunity to Mukunda, who is in fact very dear to him. Srivas Pandit requested Mahaprabhu to be merciful to Mukunda, to which the Lord replied, Mukunda is a pretentious wretch. His mind is not fixed. He sometimes is a perfect figure of humility, approaching me holding straw in his teeth. But then the next moment, he comes to strike me with an iron rod. What is the term? I think is, oh God, something Jatiya, Karta Jatiya or something like that. Ah, God, I can't remember. Anyways, um, sometimes he associates with devotees, and other times he associates with non-devotees, striking me with an iron rod. Therefore, he is not eligible for the darshan of my divine form as the controller of everything. Hearing Mahaprabhu's harsh words, Mukunda was deeply aggrieved and decided to quit his body. Why am I in this body? I might as well just die. But before he committed suicide, really, before he did, he had Srivas Pandit inquire from Mahaprabhu if there was any chance of his getting his darshan ever. Then Mahaprabhu replied, he will get my darshan after 10 million of his births. Hearing Mahaprabhu's reply, Mukunda forgot himself completely and danced while uttering repeatedly, Mahaprabhu's words will never be untrue. Mahaprabhu's words will never be untrue. In a moment, Mukunda's 10 million births got destroyed. He said, Mahaprabhu said that he'll give his mercy to me. 10 million births, whatever, but he's going to give me his mercy. So in that moment, Mukunda's 10 million births got destroyed. Mahaprabhu freed him from his offenses and exhibited him his opulent form at that very moment. Mahaprabhu, accepting his own defeat, said, I perpetually reside on Mukunda's tongue. Wherever I will appear, you will get the service to sing for me. Wherever Mahaprabhu appears, in any of his forms, any of his avatars, Mukunda is always there, being able to sing for Mahaprabhu. Mukunda condemned himself for not having any devotion. He sang the glories of devotion and explained through an example the terrifying state of being a non-devotee. Mukunda said, I am so degraded. I know nothing about devotional service. How can a faithless fool like me experience the bliss of devotion just by seeing you? Duryodhana could easily see your universal form, whereas scholars study the entire scriptures in order just to perceive that same form. Yet Duryodhana and his entire family were stamped out, undergoing extreme pains because he lacked the slightest devotion. That's Caitanya-bhāgavata 2:10. Oh, okay, this is the last section. If anybody needs to go, because I see it's 8:09. Oh my God, I'm going way over time. If anyone needs to go, Dandavat Pranams, thank you so much for joining. I'm just going to read this last section here. Yeah. Okay, so Mukunda Daṭṭa is very dear to Mahaprabhu. Immersed in the loving pastimes of Sri Krishna, one day Mahaprabhu chanted, Gopi, Gopi, taking their side. One student came there at that time and asked him to utter the name of Krishna. Mahaprabhu was in a devotional trance, and Mahaprabhu ran after that student to beat him with a cane, considering the person to be of Krishna's group. He's in Krishna's group. I'm going to beat him. So he chased the person. This student, in the company of several others, started to act against Mahaprabhu without understanding his inner mood. To rescue them from committing such an offensive act, Mahaprabhu decided to accept sannyas, the renounced order of life. Mahaprabhu went to Mukunda's house, where he heard him sing Krishna Mangal. When Mahaprabhu revealed his desire to accept sannyas, the much aggrieved Mukunda requested him to postpone his decision for a few days. Although the thought of Mahaprabhu with a shaved head took the devotees in a state of deep anguish, Mukunda, along with other devotees, sang kirtans soon after Mahaprabhu's sannyas at Katwa, much to his pleasure. Mukunda was amongst the devotees who accompanied Mahaprabhu to Nilachal after his sannyas. He was present when Nityananda Prabhu broke Mahaprabhu's danda at the place of he was also present at the place of Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya in Nilachal and during the water sports in Narendra Sarovar. Mukunda also accompanied the other devotees to Puri every year. During Rath-yatra festival, Mukunda was the lead singer in the third of the 7 groups that performed sankirtans in front of Lord Jagannath's chariot. Haridas Thakur was a principal dancer in this group. So Mukunda Datta would sing and Haridas Thakur would dance. The Lord himself told the devotees how much affection Mukunda had for him. So Mahaprabhu said, and this is in Madhya-khaṇḍa chapter 7, Mahaprabhu said, Mukunda becomes very unhappy when he sees me follow the sannyas duties, like lying down on the ground and taking bath 3 times a day, even during the winter. So even though he does not say anything, I know that he is very unhappy within. And upon seeing him unhappy, I become twice as unhappy. Mukunda met all the chief associates of Mahaprabhu in Nilachal, including Swarup Damodar, Raya Ramananda, and Haridas Thakur. Mukunda Datta Thakur disappeared on the full moon day of Jaishta month, also celebrated as the bathing ceremony of Śrī Jagannātha-deva, which was yesterday. So Śrī Mukunda Datta Thakur ki jai, jai Śrī Śrīdhara Paṇḍita ki jai, jai Śrī Jagannātha-deva Baladev Subhadra Sudarshan Chakraju ki jai. Achal Jagannath ki jai, and Shachal Jagannath Shri Shachinandan Gaur Hari ki jai. Jai Shri Harinam Sankirtan ki jai. Oh, and today is Jai Shri Shamananda Prabhu ki jai. Tadiya Shubha Tirubha Titi ki jai. Shri Harinam Sankirtan ki jai. Swaparsha Ji Gaur Hari ki jai. Shri Harinam Sankirtan ki jai. Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki jai. Samagata Gaur Bhakta Vrinda ki jai. Shinitai Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bo. Vrindai Tulsi Devai Priyai Keshavashachat Krishna Bhakti Pradadevi Satyavatai Namo Namaha Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhu Bhyayevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Dandavat pranams, dear devotee. Oh wait, I didn't sing Mahamantra. Let's do like 3 Mahamantras and then. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Nitai Gaur Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Jai. Nitai Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bo. Dandavat pranams Niri Hari Prabhu, Bhavatharani Mataji, Sarveshwari Mataji, Ghanasham Prabhu, and Ganga Mataji, Vidyalala Sadidi, Champak Mataji, and a bunch of other devotees. There are 8 devotees on YouTube and Facebook. So Dandavat pranams to all of you. I don't see your name because you didn't write a comment. If you write a comment, I'll see your name. But I'm guessing maybe Rohini Nandan Prabhu is there, Indira Mataji, Raseshwari Mataji. I don't know who else is there. But yeah, thank you so much for joining. Also, pranams to all devotees watching in the future, like Shachi Devi, Jayade Prabhu, Devotee Didi, and anybody else. Thank you so much for joining and staying with me for an extra 15 minutes. Tomorrow, I wonder if we should read about Shamananda Prabhu tomorrow. Maybe we'll do that. Or maybe we'll read about Shamananda and then also read a little bit of Bhajanahasya. Maybe we can do both. I don't know. We'll see. All right. Yes, Sarveshwari Mataji. Yes.
No, yeah, it will be a good idea what you say.
Okay, cool. Great.
Yeah, actually, because I wanted to know if you have some information about Shamananda Prabhu is say from the family of the Gopas, so I wanted to know more about this, about Shamananda Prabhu. Yeah.
Shamananda Prabhu's Gurudev is Hriday Chaitanya, right? And he was in mood of a Gopas.
Of the Gopa. Oh, right.
But Shamananda himself is not, I can't remember actually. Actually, it says disappearance day today. Let's just look very quickly just at that one verse from Gorgonadashtipika. That will be, and that will be our small thing for Shamananda today, and then tomorrow we'll actually read everything. But okay, let's see. Shamananda. So in Radhakrishna Gorgonadashtipika, Śrī Shamananda was a servant of Subal in Krishna Lila. Okay, you're right. He's a servant of Subal. And isn't Gauridas Pandit Subal Saka in Krishna Lila, and Hridaya Chaitanya is a disciple of Gauridas Pandit? Am I correct about that? I don't know. Oh wait, sorry, I just need to read. Sorry. He was a disciple of Hridayananda or Hridaya Chaitanya, a disciple of Gauridas Pandit, who is Subal and Krishna Lila. Okay, cool. I remembered correctly. Okay. And now there's this verse from the Shamananda Shatak. Let's read it. Yam Gopa Bhuvi Kirtayanti Hridayanandasya Shishyam Priyam Sakya Shi Subalya Yang Bhagavata Prishtanu Shishyam Tata Sashiman Rasikendra Mastaka Manishchite Mama Harnisham Shri Radhapriya Narma Marmashu Ruchim Sampadayan Bhasatam. I didn't know the meter for this because it was all divided strangely. So yeah, sorry about that. But Sri Shamananda was known in this world as Hridayananda's dear disciple. He was a follower of Subal Saka, and he became the grand disciple of the Lord's dear associate. May he, the crest jewel of the connoisseurs of divine love, appear day and night in my mind, bringing me a fondness for the service of Shri Radha Madhav's confidential, joyous pastimes. Shamananda, that's from the Shamananda Shatak. Okay, so yeah, you were right, Sarveshwari Mataji. And we always hear Subal Saka. He is like, I don't know, from everything that whenever Subal Saka's name comes up, he always seems to be like Krishna's best friend, like better than any of the other Sakas, like his closest friends. And he's very much engaged in Krishna's like Madhura Ras pastimes. Subal Saka is very involved with all those pastimes. And we just read the other day that when Srimati Radhika, when she needs consolation, she gets consolation from Lalita Devi, and Sarup Damodar was like that for Mahaprabhu. And when Krishna feels separation from Srimati Radhika, the person who consoles him is Subal. He's the one who's like Krishna goes to when he's feeling the immense pain of separation from Srimati Radhika. And that was like Raya Ramananda for Mahaprabhu. Like we just read that where did we read that very recently? Can't remember when. But anyhow, so yeah, Shamananda, and that's why there's no like rasa bhasa or anything. There's a whole pastime of him finding Srimati Radhika's anklet, and he's engaged in many pastimes directly with Srimati Radhika also, right? Like remember when they exchange clothes? That's on Gopastami, they dress Srimati Radhika like Subal, right? Because they it says Subal and Srimati Radhika look non-different from each other, so they exchange garments, and so that Srimati Radhika can go. Subal is like, yeah, Krishna's closest friend, especially when it comes to Krishna's Madhur Lila. Yeah. So, all right. When I say Madhur Lila, I mean like the amorous pastimes. Yeah. All right. So, okay. Dandavat Pranams. Thank you so much for joining. And Jai Shamananda Rule Ki Jai. We'll read more about him tomorrow. All right. Hari Bol.